I'm starting by sitting on a little pillow. You're welcome to have a seat on a couch cushion, on a bolster, on a couple cushions piled together, and just let my knees drop lower. Let my hips relax. You can also start with your legs out straight. We're just going to take a moment to sit here, rest the hands on the lap. We're going to inhale the shoulders up to the ears really high. Exhale, roll them back. Inhale, scrunch them up. Exhale, roll them back. One more time. And as you roll them back, let's let those eyes close just for a moment. We're just going to take a moment to feel our body, starting at the top of the head, going down past the eyes and the jaw and the neck. And while you're slowly moving your focus throughout your body, you're just checking in to see if there's any areas of stiffness or tension you're hoping to release today. Listening for any messages of illness or healing or injury that you want to treat with compassion and kindness in your practice. Noticing those areas that feel pretty good. Doing this little check-in allows us to practice safely and be able to continue all our practices during the week. Once you finish your little body scan, bring your focus to the tip of your nose. Just feel that breath as it comes in through the nose and leaves through the nose. Be noticing if there's a little tickle there. Observing the temperature of your inhale as it comes through those nostrils. Notice how the temperature is different when the air comes out. We're using this focus on the breath to help us transition from the morning part of our day into our practice. And mindfully focusing on how that air feels past our nose can help us make this transition a little smoother. Then bring your awareness to your sit bones where you're connecting with your seat to the ground or to your prop. And allow those sit bones and hips to feel heavy, sinking into the floor. Feeling your sit bones really connect with the ground and stabilize your balance as you sit tall. And from that solid connection, picture your vertebrae bones, your little backbones stacking on top of each other, just like little Lego blocks, as your spine begins to grow towards your ceiling. Nice and tall, expanding long. And then allowing your neck and head to sit nicely on top. Perhaps inhaling as your spine grows. And exhale, allow your sit bones and hips to sink into the ground. On your next exhale, let's bring the chin to the chest, opening up the back of the neck. Noticing how that sensation feels. Releasing the shoulders down, perhaps those elbows are heavy. On your next inhale, let's bring the chin up high toward the ceiling, opening up the front of the neck if that feels good. Might feel really good if you've been looking at a computer all day. Exhale, chin back to center. And then exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Checking in that right shoulder is down. Perhaps you want to reach that left hand off to the side, tenting those fingers and feeling that diagonal line from the tip of your fingers up your arm, past your shoulder and neck. Just observing how that feels. Inhaling the hand back to the knee, head to center. We'll go left ear to left shoulder. Allowing the left shoulder to feel heavy. The right arm can reach out to the side. And as I'm telling you these directions, I'm thinking, did I check my mirror flip on my screen so you see the right way that I'm going? And knowing as long as we both do both sides, doesn't matter if you do the right or left side first. We're just remembering to do both sides evenly. Inhaling the hand back to the knee, head to center. You can allow those eyes to slowly open, adjusting to the light, and noticing how you're already transitioning into this new yoga space for today. Let's inhale those fingers together, interlacing the fingers, and then reaching out those arms. We're gonna arch the spine. So we're leaning back like a C while reaching those knuckles away. Your gaze can come down toward that belly button. You're bringing that belly into the spine. It's almost like you're making a C if you were in Sesame Street. Reaching those knees away, reaching the knuckles away. And then inhaling, let's sit tall, bringing those arms in. And then exhale, flip the palms, push the arms away. Extending the elbows, relaxing the shoulders. Feeling the breath. And on your inhale, begin to rotate the shoulders open, bringing the arms up. We want to keep the arms straight, so if your shoulders stop and they're not all the way up and down, that's okay. We're paying attention right now to extending those arms nice and straight and only going as far as you can extend those elbows today. Yoga is a practice. And what that means is that for many months and many weeks and many years, we move our bodies and we notice those changes slowly over time. On the exhale, let's bring those arms out to the sides, pushing away those invisible walls. I can rotate back to you guys now. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you can visualize yourself pushing away those moving garbage chute walls. Really strong, activate those arms. And on the exhale, let's bring the right arm over left as they cross in front. Option number one is to reach those fingers behind you and give yourself a great big hug. Relaxing those shoulders down, opening up the upper back and shoulders. Option number two, if you would like, is to raise those elbows up. Bring the arms up, forearms back to back, and bring the right arm in front and around to eagle arms. So whether you're choosing eagle arms or the hug, we're stretching the same area of the body. You're gonna inhale deep, exhale long, raising those elbows a little higher, just noticing how that changes the stretch. Then exhale, let's release those arms down and roll those shoulders up and back a few times, drawing great big circles, warming up those shoulder joints. How big can you make that circle? And then we're gonna change the cross of the feet. So if you're sitting cross-legged, you're gonna bring the other foot in front. Again, aiming for that symmetry to keep it balanced. We're gonna inhale those fingers together, opposite thumb on top. Inhale and exhale. Begin to reach those palms away, arching your back away, making that C. Gaze comes down to the belly button. Reaching the arms away, the knuckles away. Almost think about reaching the knees away. Feeling that stretch in the back. Inhale, coming up tall, palms coming to the chest. Exhale, flip the palms, push the arms away. Nice and straight. Relaxing those shoulders down. Inhale, let's begin to raise those arms nice and high. Extending those elbows. We're just actively and mindfully moving, so aware that we really want to push the ceiling away, reminding our arms and shoulders that they do go over our heads. Then exhale, let's bring those arms out to the side. Actively pushing those invisible walls away. Let's think about bringing those shoulder blades together this time. Subtly shifting the sensation. Exhale, left arm comes over, right. Reaching those fingertips around to that great big hug. Exhale, release the shoulders. Settle in. Option to stay. Option to raise the elbows. Find the backs of the arms. Perhaps wrap into your eagle arms. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Raise the elbows slightly to notice the change. Releasing the elbows down. Let's roll those shoulders forward this time. This one's always harder for me going forward than back. Interested to hear if you have a difference that you notice with your rolls to concentrate a bit more going forward. Whew. And then we're gonna set any kind of proppage aside. We're gonna come into our tabletop. So we're spreading those fingers wide, index fingers forward, knees under hips, belly button to spine. You're gonna press your right hand into the ground, left hand gets light, and we're gonna inhale, reaching up to the side, opening up into a twist. Gaze can be forward or up at the hand. Now as you exhale, you're gonna bring this arm down. Back of the palm slides under your body like you're threading a needle and sliding that arm across. Maybe you wanna stay high. Perhaps you can come down low. Maybe the shoulder. So picking the option that works for you. Inhaling deep. Exhale long. Observing how the twist feels in your body today. And then press into your right hand, slowly bring yourself up, sliding your arm out. And you're moving mindfully, nice and slow. So we can do a lot of work by moving slow. Exhale, bring that hand down. Let's reset the tabletop. Spreading those fingers, index fingers forward. Left hand gets heavy, right hand gets light. As we begin to inhale that arm up, twisting open to the side. Feel that stretch. Then exhale, slowly moving down, almost like you're moving through molasses or honey. Running into my wall there. Sometimes that happens when we're working out at home. And then sliding that arm through, deciding if you're staying up, if you can come down. Long-term practice. Many bodies, many different sensations. We're aiming to feel an increase in sensation, but we're staying out of the pain zone, out of the red. Press that left hand into the ground as you slowly raise up, sliding that arm back through, reaching it up. And then exhale, bringing it down, coming back to tabletop. We're gonna bring the big toes together, knees out wide, bringing the sit bones toward the heels. You're gonna walk with those hands into child's pose. You're gonna bring that head, it can come down to the hands. If you have a pillow or a blanket you wanna put under, you can do that as well. You can melt the forehead to the mat. You're feeling your sit bones tucked toward the heels and your fingers reach away. And then stretching the spine right from the sacrum down in the low back, all the way up the mid back, upper back, out the shoulders. This can be a really nice stretch if you've been in a long meeting, in a wooden office chair, which I just was. You feel nice to stretch out that back. You're gonna inhale. And as you exhale, slowly walk those hands back towards your body. Coming up into your tabletop. We're gonna tuck those toes under. You're gonna push the front of the mat away, move those sit bones towards your butt so your knees start to raise. Keep pushing yourself back, drop the head, Slowly raise those hip bones. The knees can stay bent as we come into the first down dog of our noon hour practice. Maybe you want to walk the dog, bending one knee and then the other. And your focus in your down dog is those hands. Can you feel the knuckles and the fingertips grip the ground, really push the ground away? Straightening those elbows. Perhaps you want to come into stillness so those knees can still be bent. Pushing the front of the mat away, raising those hips, and then allowing the weight to come down the backs of the legs, the heels reach toward the ground. They don't have to touch the ground. Mine don't touch. I'm practicing yoga for like 12 years and my heels are just not meant to touch. That is okay. So we're gonna inhale up on those tippy toes to feel the weight transfer toward the hands. Exhale, bring the heels back toward the ground, feeling the weight transfer more evenly between the front and the back. Inhale up on the tippy toes. Exhale, bring the heels back down. Then we're gonna walk those hands toward the feet at the back of the mat, or the back of your room. You don't even need a yoga mat. Let's bend those knees, belly to thighs, reach opposite elbows, and let's forward fold. Just to check there and make sure I'm not hiding behind my stove. So what you're doing here is your knees are really bent so that you can relax and allow that neck and head to hang. This helps open up the back of the legs, the low back. Inhaling deep. Exhale long. Releasing the hands, feeling the feet root down into the ground. Pushing the ground away with the feet. You're slowly going to begin to rise up. I'm keeping my arms down so I don't have room to sweep them out. But I'm slowly going to roll it up to a nice tall standing position. Rolling those shoulders back. Head comes up last. Perhaps closing those eyes and feeling the breath. Just noticing how those opening moves made us feel. We're going to bring those feet about mat width apart. Inhale those arms up nice and tall. The right hand's going to grab the left wrist, and the left foot's going to reach behind the right leg. Right knee bends, and we're going to reach to the side. So it's kind of like you're doing a fancy curtsy on the bottom of the body, and you're reaching over on the top of the body to a nice side bend. This is quite wobbly. You can always keep those legs uncrossed. This is your practice, so I'm just here to give you ideas on how to move your body. You know your body best, so you can change that position to make it work better for you today. As you exhale, let's step those legs apart. Bring the torso up. Reach those arms high. And then left hand grabs right wrist. Right leg goes behind left leg. Left knee bends. This one has a lot of steps. And then exhale, let's side bend to the other side. The main takeaway in this one is we want to bend the side body. Remember that we do move sideways. Side bodies can be very tight. So remember to be kind and compassionate to yourself. You're here, you're moving your body, you're breathing. That's all you need to do today. Inhale, let's come up. Step those legs apart. Bring those arms to the side. So you should be near the back of our mat. We want to have room to go forward. Just checking in with that. We're going to bring those feet together. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Gaze can come up. Exhale, forward fold. Coming all the way down, melting that spine like toffee. You're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you can begin to bend the knees and walk the hands forward, coming into a plank. And that plank can be from your toes or your knees. So you get to choose toes or knees. Wherever you are, you're thinking about spreading those hands, pushing the mat away, bringing that belly button into the spine. And as you exhale, let's keep those elbows into the body and lower all the way down to the mat. Woo. Reaching those arms long behind you, tenting the fingers like spiders. You're gonna press those feet into the ground. Inhale and exhale. Raise your chest and your head, reaching out long. Option to also reach the hands above the hips. Maybe the feet off the ground. Whichever of these options you want to take, yogi's choice. And then exhale, slowly release toward the floor. Let's bring the hands beside the chest. We're going to come on up to tabletop or finding your down dog. Ooh. Checking in here, spreading those fingers apart. And whether you're from tabletop or down dog, you're going to bring those back legs together. Changes your balance slightly. Let's bring the right leg out back. Gaze comes forward. And let's bring that right foot between the hands. Option to take the lunge with the knee down or the knee up, yogi's choice. I'm going to start with my knee down, bringing my hands on my thigh for balance. Option to keep those arms here or sweep them up to the ceiling. Maybe that gaze wants to come up. Option to stay here, or option maybe to reach up with your back, lifting from the sternum and reaching into a little back bend. Almost like you're going over a high jump bar if you ever did track in elementary or high school. That was kind of funny, a 5 feet tall person trying to do high jump. And then exhale, let's come out of the back bend. Bring those hands back to heart center. Hands by the feet, tap those back toes. Let's take a moment in plank from the toes, really pushing the ground away. Feeling that plank from toes or knees, belly button to spine. And then just for a challenge, just take this left leg. We're gonna bring it in, looking forward, and we're gonna step it through to that lunge. Same knee as last time, however you need to get there. Sometimes yoga is not graceful. Doesn't have to be graceful. Sometimes that's the best way you see your changes through the months. Is your coordination. Option to inhale those arms nice and high. Option to reach those arms long, lift the chest, and let's reach back just a little bit, reaching over that high jump bar, if that feels good. Connecting with your breath wherever you are. And as you exhale, slowly coming up, bringing those hands down beside the feet, tucking the back toes. We're going to step back to that plank. You can take the plank from the toes or the knees. We're going to do a little extra plank challenge. We're going to see if we can take it down to the forearms today. So I'm going to slowly lower my left arm down, finding my forearm, then my right. And you're going to push those elbows into the ground, pushing those back toes into the ground, belly button to spine. You guys got this. Normally in class, I have people look over at themselves with the screen and say, you got this. Your neighbor or your pet or somebody, yourself. Let's lower the knees, coming all the way down to the belly. Let's reach those hands alongside the body and melt the left cheek to the ground. That's my other one. Just feel that stretch in the neck. Feel your breath into the mat. Noticing how it's changed. And then you're going to inhale your head up and rotate your head, finding the other cheek melt to the ground. Stretching the neck on the other side. Taking a moment to feel that belly expand into the ground. And then feel the belly button come in toward the spine. Noticing how that movement's changed our breath. And then we're going to bring the hands to our chest. We're going to raise the head a little bit. And we're actually going to bring the forearms to the ground, sort of like that plank. This time we're going to keep the feet on the ground. So we're checking that our elbows are underneath our shoulders. So if we're way forward like this, that's going to be a lot of work. If we're way back like this, that's a lot of work. But we're entering a little bit of a passive stretch. So shoulder, elbow in line. Spreading those fingers out. And if you feel a pinch in your low back, you can walk those feet out wide to the corners of your mat. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, you can push those forearms into the ground, the elbows into the ground, perhaps raising up a little higher. Allow those thighs to melt into the mat. The tops of the feet to melt into the mat. This pose is called Sphinx, just like the Egyptian sculpture in the desert. You're nice and tall, proud. And we're also counteracting all of that forward sitting on the computer and the phones here in this nice back bend. And then on your exhale, let's slowly come down, bringing those hands closer to the chest, melting back down to the ground. Spreading the fingers, we're going to slowly come up to tabletop. And then if you'd like, we're going to come into down dog. Spreading those fingers out, raising those sit bones. And as you exhale, let's walk those hands back toward the feet. Bending the knees, finding a forward fold, belly onto thighs, perhaps grabbing opposite elbow. Allowing the neck and the head to hang. Think about raising those sit bones up nice and high. And just noticing how this forward fold may feel a bit more open and a little bit more accessible now that we've built some heat. It's amazing how much that little bit of heat can change the flexibility and openness sensations in the body. You're going to release those elbows, feel the feet connect with the ground, actively push those feet into the ground as you raise up to standing. Nice and tall. Head stacks last, feel that breath. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Perhaps let's come to the front of the mat. Step those feet about hip width apart. I'm going to show this from the side to start. As your left foot's going to get heavier, right foot's going to get light. You're going to sit back in an invisible chair and you're going to bring that right leg over top of the left, crossing it just like that. So you can see how my butt is sitting back like I'm in a chair. You have the option of resting those toes on the ground for balance. Whew, there goes my balance. You can also let that foot hang, or perhaps try and tuck that foot around your shin. Whatever option works best for you today. We're going to bring those arms out alongside your body. Now, if it feels good to you, we're going to go back to the arms we did at the beginning of class. So on your exhale, let's go right arm across the over top of left into a great big hug. Shoulders come down. And if you're still feeling safe, if you feel okay to bind yourself up even more, remember there's no medals here. I want you to be able to walk later. No broken wrists. So check in with that balance. And if you'd like, let's raise those elbows up high. Back of the arms come together and wrap those eagle arms around. Whatever option you are taking today, our focus is just balancing on one foot. So you could just be here today working on your balance. Woo, one foot. I want you to inhale deep, exhale long, and then slowly unwind those arms out to the sides. Unwind the leg, and slowly set that foot on the ground. Shake it out. I want you to smile, bring the corners of the mouth up. Whatever you did there, this is just about some fun. Okay, now have to remember, we are on the other side of the foot, other side of the body. For me, that's my right one. So you're gonna feel your right foot get heavy, left foot gets light. Sit back into that invisible chair, and let's bring that left foot up, crossing it over top of the other one. Whew. Option to stay here. We're working on balancing the one foot. Now, if you'd like to bring the arms out to the sides into that nice T, this is like our flying eagle pose, so you're totally flying here. I don't know if eagles actually cross their legs. And then we're gonna bring the left arm over top of right into that great big hug. Feel those fingers wrap around, release those shoulders down. Option to raise the elbows, bring the arms up and around, finding your option for the balance pose. You're gonna inhale deep, exhale long. Woo, there goes my wobbling. And then slowly come out of the pose. Nice and slow, coming out is just part of the pose too. Shake it out wherever you are. As part of our practice is just accepting how it went today. Feel the movement in the body. Beautiful. We're now going to bring those feet out a little bit wider than the mat. We're going to squat, so I go quite wide. My hips like this one wide. Toes are pointing up at a 45-degree angle. We're going to inhale, sweeping those arms out to the sides if you have room. We're bringing those arms up. Palms are going to come together. And as you exhale, you're going to begin to bend those knees over the toes, slowly coming down into your squat. That could be a high, more gym-style squat. It could be a low yogi-type squat. Wherever you are today, I want you to feel those feet push the ground away. So if you're pushing the ground away with the feet, it's almost like you could come up a little bit. Nice active feet. Think about your nice tall spine, those Lego blocks stacking on top of each other. So your spine is really lengthy. And then find that breath. The most advanced yoga poses have the breath. So if your breath is choppy, if you're holding the breath, come out of the pose a little bit to the point where you can feel that breath. Be nice and smooth. Let's bring the hands down to the floor, coming on to the sit bones. We're going to bring those knees into our belly, like a little tuck. Hands come behind the hips, fingers toward the feet, finding a tall spine. So we're trying to stay away from a arch like we did at the beginning. We're trying to stack those Lego blocks in the spine, nice tall spine. Point those toes into the mat, belly button into the spine. Option to stay here. This is a lot of spine extension and a lot of core. If you'd like, you can bring your arms off the mat as you lean back and find that balance point. Woo. Belly button into the spine. Option to raise the legs, maybe to 90. Maybe you can extend them more. I can't without sacrificing my back, so I'm going to keep my legs here. Wherever you are, I want you to inhale deep. Exhale long. You got this. And then release down to the mat. Bring those hands a little bit wider behind the hips, spreading the fingers out, feeling the knuckles. Step the feet wide as the mat, feeling those feet connect with the ground. You're going to push into the hands and the feet at the same time to slightly raise that butt off the ground. Now kick in those butt muscles and use your butt muscles to raise your hips up nice and high into a reverse tabletop. Almost thinking like if you balanced a cup of coffee, maybe you wouldn't want to start with coffee, water, it's cooler. As you make that table, feeling your breath. And I actually feel this quite a lot in my arms. But some people really feel this in their hips. Different bodies, different sensations. Then slowly lower, all the way down. Beautiful. Coming on to the forearms as we lower ourselves down to the mat. Knees come out wide, soles of the feet come together, making a diamond with your legs. Bringing those hands onto the belly. Choosing your favorite color of balloon. Plopping that balloon into your stomach, and let's try a few balloon breaths to calm that breath down for the chill, stretchy part of class. So let's inhale deep, expanding that belly. Exhale long, allowing that belly button to drop toward the spine. So you're inhaling, slowly blowing up that balloon in your belly. Exhale, slowly deflating the balloon. Doing a few more of these balloon belly breaths to your own slow breath. Perhaps you want to count the beats of the breath. I inhale, 2, 3, 4. I exhale, 2, 3, 4. This breath is an excellent way to transition your mindset from being really up and excitable, maybe agitated in a good, excited way or a not so good exam way. Transition yourself into a calmer space, or maybe your thoughts slow down because your breath is slowing down. It's amazing how that's connected. After your next balloon breath, let's bring those hands out to the thighs, helping those knees come back in together. And let's bring both those knees into the chest, perhaps wrapping those arms around the shins, giving yourself a nice little hug. Maybe you want to roll around a little bit like a little ball. Beautiful. We're going to release down, keeping that right leg into the chest with those hands. And you can set the left foot on the mat. Knee can stay bent, or the left leg can extend down the mat. Yogi's choice. We're moving into a few longer yin style stretches. So we're going to ask ourselves, how can I do this with a little bit less effort? Maybe 5% less effort in the arms as we hold that knee into the chest, stretching up the hip. These longer stretches just do a little bit more of a different function than our shorter stretches earlier in class. We're just trying to do a little bit of movement in our body in all the different areas in this 50 minutes of time. Let's bring the left hand onto the hip as a reminder to keep that hip down. Let's open the right hip up so the knee comes to the side. Maybe your arm is helping to support that leg as it comes to the side. Maybe you want to stick a pillow under this knee or a couple pillows. And just noticing the different sensation with the knee in the center of the chest, which compared to the knee to the side. Again, we're just reminding ourselves that the hip, it can do other things and move forward and back like it does when we walk. It can actually move to the side. We're just reminding it that it can do that. Noticing how your breath is moving through the body while you're in this shape. And then we'll inhale, bring that knee back into the chest. And then we're going to extend that leg out. Maybe you want to bring the hands behind the thigh. Maybe you're engaging your core and using a bit more of your muscles to keep that up. You have a yoga strap, you can use it here as well. Maybe if you want, you can rotate that ankle just a little bit, making a circle one way, mindfully moving that foot. And then doing the circle the other way. Maybe inhaling for one rotation and exhaling for the next. Bring your right knee back into your chest. Your left knee comes into the chest. Giving yourself that little hug. And then let's bring both knees down to the ground, shoulders and head to the ground. Extending both legs out. And just taking a moment to feel how your right side and left side compare to each other right now. We were talking about symmetry earlier in class. How it doesn't matter if you do the right side or left side first. What matters is you want to do both sides. So we're working the body the same way on both sides to kind of help bring our body back into balance. Let's bring those knees back into the chest one more time. Give yourself that little hug. This hug also lets me see my clock to see how much time we have left. And then we're going to wrap those arms around the left shin and bring that right foot to the ground. Option to settle in here or to extend that right leg down your mat as we bring this movement into the other side of the body. It's very normal for our bodies to feel different, to stretch differently on each side, to be more open or tight on one side than the other. Working both sides, we're trying to even that out, bridge that gap, make it a little narrower. That just helps us be a little healthier by working both sides. Even though whenever I go to a massage therapist, they always know my right side is definitely my dominant side. I'm always trying to work that left side, have it catch up a little bit. Let's bring that right hand onto the right hip. Reminder to keep it down. And then slowly open that left hip to the side. The knee comes out to the side. You can bring that pillow underneath the leg. You can support that leg with the arm. We're just reminding the hip that it gets to move out to the side as well as forward and back. That it has a nice range of motion in there. Feeling that breath as it moves through the shape. And then we're slowly going to bring that knee back to center. And extend that leg out. Option to use your hands on the thigh, perhaps a strap or a towel to keep that leg up. And then we're going to rotate that ankle. Inhaling for one rotation. Exhaling for the next rotation. And then switching directions. My ankle rotation is also a little shaky. Just an interesting observation for me. All right, let's inhale that knee back into center. Bring the right knee into center into one last hug. And then just for fun, we're going to roll back a little bit, maybe separate those knees and bring your hands behind your thighs onto your knee. You're going to bring your belly button into your spine, curve up a little bit so you're in this little half circle. And if you would like, if this is okay on your back, we're just going to do some few rolls here. So you're going to bring yourself up and roll back. Rocking like a little rocking chair, so your belly button's into your stomach. And then as you do this, maybe you laugh because it can be fun. And then you're going to bring yourself up to seated, however you want. We're going to turn around to the front of the mat. And we're going to extend our right leg forward. Left leg comes out to the side like a little triangle. Maybe you want to bring that foot closer to your knee. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, you're going to move yourself forward. And then once your hip doesn't want to move forward anymore, you're just going to let that head come down and relax. So from the side, you extend from the hip, bring your head down. And again, this is where we practice our ahimsa, our non-violence to ourselves. We don't want to like pull ourselves down so much that we're shaking and hurting. That's not good. We want to stay at about our 70% stretch. We feel the increase in the sensation, but we're not forcing ourselves to get anywhere. We're in our practice. We're moving our body in many directions in a safe way. And knowing that over time, we'll be able to feel those changes, those more openness changes we want in our body. And we're slowly going to walk those hands back up to center. And then we're going to reach the left leg out Right leg comes out into that triangle on the side. I'm gonna sit nice and tall, stack those Legos in the spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to walk those hands forward, hinging at the hip. Maybe pausing every now and then, lengthening out of the hip, and slowly coming down. When you can't go any further, when you're in your 70% zone, you're gonna allow the neck and the head to relax, feeling that forward fold. Noticing how the breath in your body travels through this shape. Perhaps adjusting your pose, staying within your 70% max of stretch. Practicing ahimsa, non-violence to your own self. And slowly, with your next long exhale, begin to walk yourself back up, nice and tall. We're gonna come into our final seated position. I'm gonna cross my legs and sit tall. If you'd like to come into final rest on your back, you wanna stay there for a while, you can. Wherever you are in your final pose on your back or in your seated position, you're gonna inhale deep through the nose. Hold the breath. Exhale slow through the mouth. Feeling your sit bones get heavy, your back body get heavy. Let's inhale deep through the nose one more time. Hold that full breath for a moment. And exhale, long release through the mouth. Hands come to heart center, tucking your chin. And just taking a moment to notice your body from the top of the head to the tips of your toes. Noticing how today's yoga practice changed and affected your body and the space between your thoughts. Thank you for joining me today in Thursday's practice. If you have any questions, please message me, message wellness, reach out, and we'll help you get accustomed to different poses for all our practices you see here through the week. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Enjoy your Thursday.